Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues on Charleston's Big Talker, 1250 WTMA.
Welcome back, Charleston, as the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show continues here on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com. I always like to take a little bit of time and just say thank you to those of you that listen to this program and rely on the information within it to help you better understand the real estate market and guide you through the process, help you hire the best agent for you, and then get the best results possible when it comes time for you to buy, sell, or invest in real estate. So thank you for that. And of course, if you want to reach out to me and you want to have a discussion about my services, my number is 843-400-8009, 843-400-8009. Call or text that number. Or, of course, visit us online at listingsincharleston.com. That's listingsincharleston.com for more information on what your home is worth. You can search the MLS, learn more about us, absorb a bunch of educational material, listen to every version of this radio show. It's all on there, listingsincharleston.com. So we've been talking about, what happens when a house just sits on the market and it just doesn't seem like there's any light at the end of the tunnel. You're getting some showings, but the feedback is kind of spotty at best. Agents are not good at giving constructive feedback. Let me just say that. And I could really go into great detail on that, but I'm not going to. Just understand that when an agent shows your house and their buyer does not want to buy it, there's an understanding professionally that they're going to provide us with feedback about why they didn't like that house. What could we have done differently? Is there an opportunity for us to change something or add something or entice that buyer to make an offer? And that's something that agents struggle with too. There very well could have been, for the properties that are on the market that have since expired from the market, their agreement with their agent ran its course, the home didn't sell, and now those sellers are kind of waiting to put the property back on the market, and they're thinking about hiring an agent that's going to get the job done this time. One of the questions should be, how do you handle and manage feedback? We have this automated system in our MLS where people can go online and schedule showings. And then a call center, essentially, will call you and say, hey, John Doe wants to see your house tomorrow between 5 and 6 o'clock. Does that time work well for you? Yeah, it sure does. Great. Well, then they approve the showing. The agent showing the property to the buyer gets the showing instructions on how to access the house. They go and they show it to the buyer. And then if it's, a showing between 5 and 6 o'clock, at 6:01, a feedback report is emailed to that agent. And if they've shown 5 homes that day and 5 homes the previous day and a few homes, a few days before, and they're not filling in these feedback request forms, then every day when they open up their email, they're getting like 13, 15, 20 feedback request forms. And if they don't fill it out right then and there, they don't even remember your property. They don't know how to give you constructive feedback. Or they fill out something so stupid that it was just worthless. It doesn't help you. And really what it does for most sellers is irritate them. So there's a challenge that we have in this market of having to hound agents to provide us with feedback. And it's just all about awareness. I mean, we know that the problem exists. We are proactive in collecting feedback because it's important. And what we really need to understand is the feedback that we're receiving the agent's feedback or the buyer's feedback? Because the form isn't going to tell you that. You have to dig for that information, and a really good salesperson is going to ask open-ended questions about, let's say the feedback says something like, wish the carpet upstairs had been cleaned, or, didn't like the paint colors upstairs. Carpet, paint, all that stuff's negotiable. We can probably work with that. Talk with your buyer and see if they'd be interested in making an offer that takes those things into consideration, and let's get both the buyer and the seller talking. Let's negotiate something here. Let's try and find a win-win scenario. But agents are hardly doing that. That's, of course, based off of the fact that they're bringing people through the door. So something's working, which is always kind of a tough conversation to have with sellers when they're getting showings, but they're not getting offers. And they go and they say, gosh, this agent that we were working with, man, they suck. They were the worst. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. They didn't do anything. And we have to sometimes remind people that the reality is you were visible on the MLS. All the other agents saw the property. All the buyers have seen the property. They made the decision either to come and view the house and make an offer or not, or just not come at all. And yes, there are things that we do to upgrade our listings. We use the best professional photographer in town. Our marketing plan, I can't go into it because there are too many things that we do that no one else is doing. But when I sit down and I talk with these people about how we are proactively targeting people based on demographics, geographics, and online behavior to make an advertisement for their house and place that in front of ready, willing, and able buyers, it's kind of blowing their mind, but it makes total sense because other companies do it. And there's no secret here. You go to Amazon and you look at something and you choose not to buy it, Amazon's going to follow you around and remind you that, hey, you looked at this thing. You sure you don't want to buy this? Why real estate agents aren't doing this on a larger scale blows my mind. We've been doing it for a little over a year, and the results have been ridiculously awesome. We're really excited about it because we get to sit down with folks and we get to show them, here's how this process works. Here's how we're driving traffic to your home. Here's how we're re-engaging them as they get closer to buying your home. And here are all the different types of people we target and blah, 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 blah. Again, that's about the extent of the details that I'll get into. But marketing is where most agents really just don't have the budget or the understanding to make a huge impact on your listing. Just point blank. They really just don't understand. And part of that is because there have been so many companies out there that have said, hey, you don't have to learn this stuff. Just pay me. I'll do it for you. Well, you don't know how effective those companies are at whatever it is they say or claim that they're really good at doing. And the majority of them aren't great, quite honestly. I mean, I told you that I'm a tech guy. I've tried a lot of them. I have spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars on these different programs. Some of them have worked. Some of them have not. And so it's always a struggle to put together the best of the best in the form of a marketing plan for the house. But agents have a finite level of money. And so you also should be wary of the agent that is spending more money on themselves than they are on you and your listing. I mean, that to me has always kind of blown my mind. And sure, there are two different ways of building a business. You can market yourself and find clients that way, or you can market your listing and find clients that way. Either way, you can find clients. It's just a choice as to how these agents or companies are doing it. But from personal experience and as somebody that has built a big business, I would much rather market my listings and find business and then do a fantastic job of representing them, earn referrals, while also doing all this really cool tech stuff on the side to find additional buyers for my listings and vice versa, than be the guy that's just, everywhere you turn, there I am. Because that doesn't really serve my clients. It's just a different way of doing things. Both work incredibly well. And there have been some very successful people that have accomplished their real estate goals by being the person that's out front and in center. Not to say that I'm not, I just do it a different way. I do it through enhancing the marketing for my clients and their properties, or in investing in systems that proactively find people to buy my listings or for listings that we can buy. So it's just a totally different way of doing things. But, the last part here is condition. And we, for the past several years, have essentially been telling people that, hey, it's so much easier to just give a credit to the buyer than choose some finish, whether it be granite countertops or hardwood flooring, because outside of that, we really don't think it makes sense for you to make renovations to your house. I mean, it really is limited to flooring, bathrooms, and the kitchen. Other than that, it just doesn't make sense. And in fact, I have the cost versus value report from Remodeling Magazine for the South Atlantic region in 2019. And guess what? They track a bunch of different projects from a bunch of different professionals. They track the cost of the project, the resale value of the house after that project has been completed, and then how much of that cost they're recouping. There isn't a single thing on this list that actually produced a positive return on investment. Now, you have to take that with a grain of salt because there are different, situations in which adding granite countertops could make a big difference to somebody. And if you can find them for $3,000 and it adds $5,000 to the sales price, then hey, you just won. But, here's an example. A minor kitchen remodel, which is going to cost $21,000, is going to recoup $17,754. You're going to get 83% of your money back. Let's see, what else? Replacing or how about this? Adding a deck. It's going to cost $18,000. You're going to get $12,000 back. It's a 65% return on investment. If you guys want to see this report, this isn't me just throwing numbers together. This is an actual tracked report. It's a very popular report, especially in the world of contractors. If you want a copy of this, just text the word report to 843-400-8009. That's 843-400-8009. Or you could go to my website, listingsincharleston.com. It's on there as well, listingsincharleston.com. When we come back, I want to debunk a few quick myths about creating additional value in your house. So that'll be when we come back right here on the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show on the Big Talker, 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.
Hear the Brian Beatty Real Estate Show every Saturday morning at 9 and each Sunday morning at 10 on 1250 WTMA and WTMA.com.